Welcome back.
Sorry, I'm choking on hot chocolate. Oh!
Good.
I do like a hot chocolate. It's October. Oh, wait, no, sorry, no, it's not. What month is it? Oh, it's Christmas, nearly Christmas Day.
It's currently 3 days until Christmas. That's why you're drinking hot chocolate.
Ah, that means I can say to you...
It's cold outside.
I can say to you now. You enjoying your Christmas present so far?
Ooh, why did it arrive before Christmas?
That's an excellent question. I don't know.
Oh no, I'm going to be murdered.
We're moving away from...
That laugh doesn't fill me with confidence.
Oh no, it fucking shouldn't. We're moving away from Star Trek. We're going back to Star Wars, which is how my mum always pronounces it. She never calls it Star Wars. She calls it Star Wars, and no matter how much I say
something weird. It's the cadence.
It just sounds wrong, doesn't it?
That little like half beat.
Like, oh, are you watching Star Wars? I was like, no, Mum, I'm watching Star Wars, like I have done every day of my life.
Well, yeah, you could watch Attack of the Clones every day for over a month without watching the same copy twice.
I could do that, and you know what? I think I'd come out of that thinking it was Citizen Kane. I imagine that if you watch that film enough. In fact, I'm sure there's a podcast where there's a bunch of guys who decided to watch the same film over and over again and talk about what they found in it. I'm sure that's a thing. I'm going to have to Google this now.
I mean, we've probably got room for bonus episodes.
Oh, here we go. This is it. The worst idea of all time is a podcast hosted by New Zealand comedians Tim Batt and Guy Montgomery, where they watch and review the same film every week for a year. In each season, the film chosen is one neither of the hosts have seen before and is generally considered to be a bad film. So,
I've got our first one.
No.
Entourage the movie.
Oh my god! Right, so there are 5 series of this, right? Okay, so series 1, they watched Grown Ups 2 once a week for 52 weeks. Season 2, Sex and the City 2. Season 3, We Are Your Friends, which is that, I think it's that Zac Efron DJ thing, isn't it? Yeah. Season 4, this is brilliant, Sex and the City.
I like the... Because I was just there like, do they just watch sequels to films that they've seen? Or are they just watching films just random
here we go.
films?
Emergency season. During a lockdown in New Zealand during the COVID-19 pandemic, the hosts watched Home Alone 3 every 3 days to produce a 9-episode season. At the end of September 2020, Montgomery and Batt have undertaken the 5th season, and instead of rewatching the same movie every week, they are watching a different movie from the same film series. The series they are picking for the 5th film is the French-American Emmanuel series of softcore pornography. That's fucking excellent.
Can we
I'm
steal
not sure
that
we
idea
can
into
do,
a
to
bag?
be honest, because I imagine that's... I mean, this is from their Wikipedia page, so they're already doing real well. That's fantastic.
That is incredible.
Worst idea
What's the name of
of
the
all time?
podcast? That is being added to my list of podcasts that I will see their quality episode and not listen to.
Speaking of those, here's ours.
Yeah, no, it's the same list that I put us on.
So Star Wars stuff,
But
website.
yeah, Star Wars stuff.
copilotspodcast.co.uk, the best website on the whole of the internet. Don't
I'm
ask
genuinely
me our
impressed that you
social
remembered.
handles.
Which is awful.
I'm guessing that for Twitter we're Real Co-Pilots, and for Instagram we are The Real Co-Pilots Podcast. Yeah, thanks very much.
That's pretty solid guesswork.
No.
It's almost like you're a social media
It's definitely
sort
not.
of guru.
Yeah. This is our animated Star Wars special.
Yeah. Also, visit the website and give us suggestions.
Yeah, like stop.
Because it'd be nice to not just have Joe over and over again calling me a cunt in the emails.
What does AYS stand for?
You know what it stands for.
Enjoy the episode. Feels like it's been a long while.
It has for us, but for the listener, it hasn't been.
What was it been for us? Like 3 weeks or
Yeah,
something?
which does when you say it like that, it's not that long. But
No. Well, it isn't. It isn't. Because we tend to do this every
yeah,
week.
and you've been in multiple countries.
I've been, well, only one other. I've been over several.
Yeah, you've been in multiple time zones.
Again, just one other.
Is Italy only +1?
Yeah.
Oh well, fuck me then, basically.
We did fly over the Alps again, which is awesome. That's why I really, really like flying to Rome. It's because you get to go over the Alps, and it is so fucking.
I thought
cool
it's because you got to
flying
land
over
in
mountains.
Rome. I thought that's why you.
And there is that too. I just realised I haven't told you something about Rome. So obviously, Rome was the last place that we went before lockdown. Immediately after our wedding, it was the first place outside the UK we went back to, and our hotel was 5 doors down from our old hotel that we stayed in, purely by coincidence. So we knew that bit of Rome like real fucking well.
See, that's the thing, that it sounds like it's by coincidence, but it actually sounds like you and Lisa just forgot where you went directly after your wedding.
You say that, but as you were saying that, it sounds like the sort of thing that's coincidence, but when you're with Lisa, you realise nothing's a coincidence. It's all planned.
That too, yeah.
But no, it was great. It was really nice to be not in the UK.
I imagine that's a feeling that's just in general.
Yeah, to be honest, like every taxi you got into, they were like, "Oh, where are you from?" We were like, they went, "Oh, from England," and then I'd just go, "Sorry."
Oh, we're from England. Get out.
Yeah, no, Italy was wicked. The morning of the wedding, right? So the wedding was on the Tuesday, and then the 2 days before, glorious sunshine, real hot. Morning of the wedding,
Shattered out with rain.
oh mate, we were woken up at 10 to 7 by the shutters banging against the building, and lightning and thunder and massive downpouring of rain. We could.
Wasn't there a volcanic eruption near Italy?
Yeah, in 79 AD. It's called Pompeii, mate.
Yeah, no, I mean like recently, not. I've heard of Pompeii.
Not while I was there, and let me tell you, our villa was looking directly opposite Mount Vesuvius, and I had one eye on that fucker the whole time.
Yeah, the volcano erupted. Oh, there was a lot of volcanoes have erupted.
I did see there was an earthquake that's just hit. Oh fuck, I can't remember where, but there's now a tsunami warning for that place as well, but I can't remember where that is.
See, the good thing about the UK is no volcanoes, no earthquakes.
Yeah, but racism.
We've got to take the fights we can win, like against natural disasters. Man-made disasters, we got Norfolk.
But yeah, we're doing Star Wars rather than Star Trek.
I was about to say, speaking of man-made disasters, and I was like, no, this is wars, not Trek. But this is all the little like drawing ones.
Well, it's also our second run at this one, isn't it? Because, as is well documented in the last few episodes, my PC blew up at the start of the year.
Yeah, and it would have been nice if it hadn't shat itself to the point that the hard drive stopped working.
Yeah, but you can't have everything. So
no, so yeah, I vaguely remember the Teacher's Bad Education one was just a lot of us being like, yeah, we've watched them before. Yeah, we've talked about them before. Yeah, well.
And this one's going to be much the same thing. Zoom zoom.
Yeah.
Lightsaber.
Well, because I think when we did this the first time, I'd only watched the first episode of Clone Wars. But I've now watched at least the first season. And that shit's good.
I think I've seen about a season and a half, maybe 2 series.
Yeah. I mean, I've watched all of Rebels. Rebels was real good. and
Yeah,
really easy
I think
to watch.
I have watched
as well.
more Rebels, but then I started watching Clone Wars because I was doing it in chronological order, because then it would make sense, because I think there's some crossover with some characters.
There definitely is. There are Mandalorians all over the fucking place. They then turn up in The Mandalorian. Which
Here's
makes a lot
something that
more
I was
sense.
thinking about the other day, right? So we're getting the Book of Boba Fett for Christmas, right? But then,
Yeah.
before we knew The Mandalorian was a thing, there was rumours there was going to be a Boba Fett TV show. Then they make The Mandalorian, which is, you know, Mandalorian Adventures Across the Galaxy. Brilliant. Everyone really likes it. Fine. Why are they bothering doing a Boba Fett show? Because is it not going to be quite similar?
I don't know. It is a weird one. Just because part of the appeal of Boba Fett was that he was just like this sort of character that you
Kind
didn't
of
know
got
much
that
about.
with Mando and Boba Fett.
Yeah. Well, that's the thing. I think they're gonna expand a lot on Boba Fett, and I guess what he's been sort of doing since he didn't die.
Well, you think that's what you think
trilogy.
it's going to be? It's going to be filling in the gaps rather than.
I know. I think he'll talk about what's happened, but I think it's going to be a moving forwards thing, because I think since the MCU's proved that it works, always moving forwards, I think is how things will work in Star Wars now. I don't think you'll get prequels, and I think it will always just be this happened after the last thing you saw.
You say that, but we're getting Obi-Wan.
Yeah, and not the
I
latest
think-
Marvel release, but the release before that was Black Widow, which is a flashback movie. So.
Yeah, but then like the way that Book of Boba Fett is set up is he goes in, he kills.
Jabba.
No, it's not Jabba though, is it? It's Jabba's mate who's become Jabba. What's his name? Bib Fortuna. Kills him and sits on the throne. So now, presumably, he's now like head gangster of Tatooine. So now, is it going to be people are coming for him because they want to take over from where Jabba was, or?
I don't know. It could be the thing with Star Wars that I've always liked is that because it's basically about space wizards, they can mostly
Doesn't really
do
matter.
whatever the fuck they want. Oh no, because Mando's a flashback as well, because it's got young Luke Skywalker in it.
Yeah.
Oh, my brain's all owie.
I'll tell you what, I am looking forward to Boba Fett. I have really found myself missing Mandalorian this year.
Yeah, that's why I haven't had a big Star Wars year this year. Just because, apart from there was Mando towards the end of last year, there hasn't really been much Star Wars this year. It's been
No.
very Marvel heavy on Disney Plus.
I mean, to be
Although
fair,
apparently
I'm-
Visions is really good, like the anime sort of Star Wars stories they've done.
is that out yet?
Yeah, I think
I should give that a go then.
yeah, it's weird because I love Star Wars, but I think I'm looking forward to Obi-Wan.
Yeah.
That's
I think I feel like is going to be the next big thing.
Yeah.
Let me entice you in with Star Wars Visions, 15-minute episodes.
oh yeah,
So
so
that's an evening. You could genuinely do that in
that's
a
it.
night.
What I liked about watching Rebels and Clone Wars, I can fit 3 in an hour.
Oh, you know what did come out that no one remembers? It's Bad Batch.
Yeah, I've heard it's good, but it came out just before I was busy when that came out, getting hyped for Loki coming out.
That's true. Although I quite like the idea that it's like almost it flip flops. It's like you have a big Marvel year, big Star Wars year. Because say what you want about COVID, right? It's bad and all, but I've really enjoyed that it was Endgame, and then that was it.
And then a global pandemic.
For a long time, that was the only Marvel thing we had. It was just just put a proper full stop in it. I'm realising we're not talking about Rebels or Clone Wars at all.
No, but we're Rebels, Clone Wars adjacent because we're talking about Disney.
Yeah.
Which is a really if we want to ever justify linking two shows together, we're like they're probably made by Disney or a company owned by Disney at some level. Because Disney owns the fucking world. But I don't think we're gonna get big Star Wars shits on Disney Plus. Because Disney is Marvel now, really. A lot of what they put out is just Marvel, especially. Maybe that's just my perception.
Maybe that's just what you're being served. Like, because they've still got like a lot of their TV shows, like the Disney Channel stuff, and like Pixar movies and their animations. They got that Cruella film as well, didn't they? So I haven't watched that yet, but I will do. Do you know what I find mad is that you can go onto Disney Plus if you want to watch Aliens. That's really weird in my head.
Yeah, but it's because they own so many things. Like, do you remember when Disney bought...
Yeah, I remember exactly where I was when I read it, and I saw... Oh god, Atlantis on there as well. And I saw George Lucas giving that interview. That was in year 2 of uni. And we were like, what the fuck is this going to turn into?
Yeah, it was... Instantly my brain was just like, Leia's a Disney princess now.
I remember it's $4.05 billion.
Yeah. And have to kind of argue, I don't know if there's been that return on investment yet.
Really?
Because the sequel trilogy was big, but it wasn't... I feel like the sequel trilogy tapered off.
I mean, Force Awakens took $1 billion on its own. I imagine they all took $1 billion.
Yeah, so that's not quite the return on investment. I suppose they did launch
and
Disney Plus.
All the Marvel stuff, so they'll be getting a cut out of that as well.
Oh yeah, like the Marvel stuff, definitely. But that's not Star Wars.
I started
have you
watching
seen
it,
Free
and
Guy?
then I got interrupted.
There's a really cool cameo at the end, towards the end. You'll know which one I'm talking about. Yeah, Disney can just throw money at things though. But Rebels and Clone Wars both predate Disney? No, Clone Wars does. Rebels does.
Rebels start 2014. Yeah. I mean, I think of the two, I prefer Rebels.
I prefer Rebels. I think I quite like things that are just carrying on, and because I don't have as fond memories of anything before Revenge of the Sith. I know that's unpopular in present company.
37.
Because you have some large number
37.
of Star Wars DVDs. Yeah. So I thought you would prefer the Clone Wars because that is a sequel.
To be fair, with Clone Wars,
favourite film of all time.
like that is set at around the time of when I was getting properly obsessed with Star Wars.
Yeah.
But yeah, that was when I was properly getting obsessed with Star Wars. So I will always have a fondness for it, even if the films aren't great. And this is the thing: like Attack of the Clones is genuinely slowly working its way up, like my ranking of all of them, just because I'm starting to quite like it now.
Yeah, there's something I like about not knowing where characters are going to end up. Which, with Clone Wars, there are a lot of characters that you don't know where they're going to end up. but one of the main characters is Anakin. And you're just like, but you're going to be a baddie.
It sort of makes his does it not make his character like entirely irrelevant?
But that's the thing. I wonder if maybe throughout the Clone Wars episodes you start to see that descent. You know, in the same way that in Game of Thrones you really didn't see Daenerys' descent into madness. Maybe that's what the Clone Wars TV show does. It's just Anakin's descent to madness so that he's ready at Revenge of the Sith to be like, oh, do you know what? Sith are alright. But it's what I enjoyed about Rebels is they were just new characters and characters that you knew were cameos. They weren't necessarily like... So they weren't out looking for Obi-Wan. They were just sort of... He's a bat on Tatooine. I know exactly where he was. But they don't know.
I thought you meant like he was an actual bat.
But it's... there's something nice about not knowing where characters are going to end up. And then you see Ahsoka Tano and you're like, okay, you're a Mandalorian, but you were taller and real. You were in Daredevil too. But it's one of those things. I don't know if there will be any Star Wars stuff that I enjoy as much as I enjoyed the originals. Or I don't know. Actually, enjoyed as much as I really enjoyed Force Awakens.
Yeah, that was the one of all of them that just. The longer it goes on, the more I cannot believe there wasn't an overarching plan for what that trilogy was going to be. It is fucking nuts.
Yeah, if you watch the next two, you can tell. But it's such because so. But that's the thing I feel with the animated stuff. Characters don't get sidelined like Finn.
I suppose there's more time though.
Because he was
develop them a bit more.
Yeah, I suppose characters can have more meaningful arcs. But I hope there are more of these like long running, because these are long shows. They're both 7 seasons each, I think. Maybe more. But I sort of hope the Rebels gets revisited either with real, like with a live action thing, or with a subsequent, like, after the Skywalker saga. This is what they were doing.
I think
because the Rebels go off on a little quest at the end.
I think that is a plan with something, because we've already seen a couple of.
Ahsoka's getting a TV show, isn't she?
Yeah, and we've seen like there's another Mandalorian who shows up in Mandalorian.
Bo-Katan.
Yeah, her. So we have seen people making the transition from the animated stuff.
It's weird. Bo-Katan was a good one because that's the voice actress who did it in Clone Wars and Rebels, and has been the same character in live action, which is a continuity that not enough shows pay attention to. But yeah, I mean, I have watched all of Rebels, and I will watch the rest of Clone Wars eventually.
Yeah, I think I've seen like a series and a half of Rebels, and probably the same for Clone Wars actually.
I think it's. I just found the Jar Jar episodes jarring, so.
Jar Jarring.
Jarring. Yeah, jarring.
I think I skipped them. Whenever it came up and it was clear he was going to be like the lead, I was like, no, I ain't dealing with this.
Nobody got time for that. That's us showing our age. But I think, yeah, they're good. If people like Star Wars, they're worth watching for sure.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Have we done Mandalorian?
I don't think we have. What would you put it with though? Loki.
Oh, well, wait for the Book of Boba Fett to come out.
I do want to rewatch Mandalorian. I was actually halfway through a rewatch of it a little while ago, and then just got distracted.
Yeah, that's the annoying thing is I'm so nearly finished Sons of Anarchy, but I took like a week off from watching it because I just got
sick of it.
Not sick of it, but there was just it was a lot, and because he just won't leave the club. But yeah, I mean, I think that's pretty much. I think we had a much more in-depth discussion last time, but what can you do? This is our second shot at it.
Yeah, fuck you.